All right, Shalom. We want to give all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakal Kwadash. Want to give double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Blessings unto the elect of Yasha Allah, which consists of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And blessings and salutations to you, Akim, out there enduring this truth across the four corners of the earth, as well as you men, women, and children that follow. Looking forward to the downfall and destruction of Babylon, also known as America today. All right, and that is due by prophecy within the scripture. So I ran across a video where they was comparing a situation in history to a situation of the future, and which is the situation in history was something entitled by the Great Leap Forward, right? Which was pretty much dealing with China and a so-called communist regime where they wanted to increase their agriculture and their industrialization economy pretty much to compete with Western industrialization. So what they pretty much did is a number of things, but within this video, which we'll get into that a little bit, within this video, I should bring out some of those points actually. Within the video that I ran across, I was going to put it in post-production or that, but I don't know if they'll take it down or not. But they compared it to the Great Reset. Certain things that was going on within the Great Leap Forward is certain things that they're speaking about with the Great Reset. Can we name a few? Within there, you had private property that was abolished. All right. And as you can see, in this day and age, they're slowly but surely coming out with certain laws taking away your rights. Okay. Or trying to force you into complying with them in a sense. Okay.
Yeah, it was like a communistic platform.
Exactly.
That they were pushing, a communistic agenda, I'll say, that they were pushing. Where, everyone's equal, is no one man more important than the other, and, everyone's going to eat, everyone's going to do well. That was the plan.
Exactly. If we all sacrifice...
Oh, my goodness.
If we all make this sacrifice, we will be great. We would do good. We would get better pretty much. And at the end of the day, it was control. It was control, having the people do what they wanted them to the point where all of the farmland was ceased. Okay, and there was pretty much what was, I forget though. Let me see. I just want to get the word that they had put up there. So, matter of fact, I'll read this. It's a few paragraphs. Try not to get it all, but I don't know. It says, private plot farming was abolished and rural farmers were forced to work on collective, that's farms, where all production, resource allocations, and food distribution was centrally controlled by the Communist Party. Large-scale irrigation projects with little input from trained engineers were initiated, and experimental, unproven new agricultural techniques were quickly introduced around the country. So they pretty much had a plan. They didn't prove the plan. They didn't proofread it.
Right.
It's like, man, I got an idea. And they just pushed it on people and gave them hope.
With little training.
With little training, exactly. So you talking about an average person who's good at art. We gonna throw you to make steel, or we gonna throw you to do this farming job, and this is what was going on. And I don't want to get too much into there because it's a lot, but I will post the article within the description box. I would definitely say it's a great read, and I'll try to remember as many points as I can. You also had the communes, okay, which the communes was pretty much where the people stayed, which was pretty much on the collective farms. You pretty much whatever you needed was there in their sense. And within today's day and age, you have what they call 15-minute cities, right? Which is something that they've been speaking about, which it says the 15-minute city is an urban planning concept in which most daily necessities and services such as work, shopping, education, healthcare, and leisure can be easily reached by a 15-minute walk or bike ride from any point in the city. So that's their point, is to have you pretty much barricaded or blocked in, so to speak. Can we get that precept? Because the brother had quoted that. Go into a city. You know,
this is the book of Second Ezra.
You have something?
No.
Okay, go ahead, brother.
This is the book of Second Ezra 15 and verse 17. It says, "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able."
Exactly, because they will be able to control when you can go and can't go. You know, and then you see them constantly speaking about the CO2 emissions and how people will be penalized for it. All right, you see them speaking about permit this, permit that, passport this, passport that, especially dealing with the C-19er.
Yeah.
You know, that was okay, because the Great Reset. Well, let's just get it real quick what they got for it. It says the Great Reset Initiative is an economic recovery plan. What was going on with the Great Leap Forward? It was to improve the economy, right? It was a plan that they had to improve the economy. Okay, that was their purpose of making those quick decisions for the people. I would say they didn't take a census and a vote or any. No, this is what we're going to do to better our economy. It is going to work. I believe they had I forget that, but they had certain targets they wanted to make, certain goals they had set to make, and they just failed miserably to the point with the agriculture, right? The leader, his name was Mao, all right, Zedong, I believe that's how you pronounce his last name. He got rid of the sparrows because he felt like they was a threat to the agriculture, to the crops, not knowing that those sparrows kept the locusts away. So once they got rid of the sparrows, it allowed more locusts to come in and tear up the crops. So you just doing things like we had read earlier. If I can get it again, it says large scale irrigation projects with little input from trained engineers were initiated, and experimental, unproven new agricultural techniques were quickly introduced around the country. I got you. I got you. So they was just implementing things. Okay. Oh, I got a good plan, and this is what we're going to do with it. You know, and everybody, the Great Leap Forward, the Great Reset, they had this plan, and we can wait to get that. Go ahead. You want to say something? Go ahead.
No, but everything was in the guise of the betterment.
Exactly.
You know, the Great Leap Forward. They want to do that. That's exactly what they want to do. They want to leap forward. They want to move forward. The Great Reset. Everything is going to shit, and we need to reset this for the betterment of society. So it's all coming in the guise of, you know, we're for you. We're trying to. We have your best, your best intent in mind.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, there it go right here. It says Mao forecast. Now this is dealing with the industrialization of it. It says in Mao's forecast that Chinese industrial output would exceed Britain's within 15 years. The backyard steel industry produced largely useless, low-quality pig iron, which is pretty much useless iron. It's not stable. It's not pure. You can't really do much with it.
Yeah, I got a definition here. It says
Go ahead.
it's brittle and not useful for directly as material except for limited applications. So basically, what they wanted to do was build up their industries. Build buildings, roads, bridges, things of that nature. But the iron that they were producing was a lower quality, so it's too brittle. It couldn't handle the force. It couldn't handle, stacking 5 stories on top of it. It couldn't handle cars driving over it every day. It would fall apart. So all the resources that they poured into that, which is called a backyard.
What are they? A backyard steel industry. You in the backyard.
Like backyard breeders, it's something fishy about that. I don't trust that.
Yeah.
But just their whole execution of the plan was terrible.
Yep. I want to get this paragraph real quick. It says, due to the failures in planning and coordination and resulting material shortages, which are common to central economic planning, the massive increase in industrial investments and reallocation of resources resulted in no corresponding increase in manufacturing output. Now, because what this could be is what? As they stated in the video, a dry run. Because nowadays, you have what they didn't have in the 1950s, Salaki, because that's it was during it started in 1958. It started in 1958. It ended in 1962, I believe it said. And so what we have today now, the reason why the scientists and the technology companies, can somewhat boast is due to the fact that they have what older generations didn't have. I would say generations dealing within history is the technology. You got the artificial intelligence. They can say, "Hey Siri, how can I make my economy better?" type, then bring up a bunch of stuff. Or even dealing with the fact of all of the scientists. Hey, what was the first thing that they resorted to when the C-19er hit? All right, they resorted to science. That was the main thing they was putting out there is science, 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 man. Okay, so they feel as if they can learn from history, which they say, those who don't learn from history is doomed to repeat it, roughly paraphrasing. So, hey, this is America that we dealing with. All right, they had the Great Leap Forward, and they're talking about the Great Reset.
Precept?
Khan, go ahead.
This is Ecclesiastes 1:9. It says,
wait, Salakia. No, you did get that. You get it. Go ahead, bro.
Ecclesiastes 1:9. The thing that has been is that which shall be, and the thing which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun.
Yeah, if you look out through history, it's pretty much the same things happening, right? You had the Tower of Babel with everybody coming together. You had the Greeks trying to bring everybody together. You have America who's trying to bring everybody together. Or I would say the elite, because they speak about the New World Order, the One World Government, and everybody. And that was with the 8 points within the World Economic Forum. One of the points. You got them all?
Okay.
Can you just go straight to that one for now, Babu Shah?
This one?
Whichever one it was with not one just person ruling.
Kind. The second point was the U.S. won't be the world's leading superpower. It will be a handful of countries that are going to dominate.
Exactly. So that's bringing everybody together. And ultimately, the main thing that will bring everybody together is what's mentioned in Revelations 13 and 16. Okay, which is the M-A-R-K. All right, that will bring everybody together. Because what does the scripture say? He calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. All right, it don't matter what your economy, how your economy, whatever it is, that's the end all be all, man. Okay, that's definitely going to be a part of any great reset or anything great that they have in the future. Because with that, they can track you. Your identification is on there. Your medical records is on there. Your driver license can be on there. All right, you are on there. You are a debit card. Like the brothers when they be doing the algorithm, you are a QR code, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So that's bringing everything together. So there's nothing new under the sun. Just as they had this great leap forward, and they had certain situation with the government or the communist regime, you know, giving out in district. I'm messing that word up.
Reallocating?
No, distributing the food or the money, because they had pretty much got rid of money, and they had what? Like, you had work points is what they call it. And even over in China now, they got the ESG going, which is another thing that they trying to, where you pretty much have a social credit score. So you are able to do things based off of your conduct, you know? And they're doing it all in the name of the betterment of everything. Oh, the world is overpopulated. Oh, you got CO2 emissions, to the point, like we were speaking with the brother earlier, he had a great point that he brought out, which was Bill Gates got approved to give face masks to cows, because they say that the cows burps affects the CO2 emissions. All right, so you have that, the soil. You got the governments, you know, messing with the topsoil. That's another point that the brother had brought out, which the topsoil is where all the riches and the resources is at to grow good crop. I would say to grow good crop. Okay, and who's the biggest owner of farmland? Bill Gates. You know, so you can sit here and say, oh, conspiracy this, conspiracy that, but it's just too many dots that are connecting, man.
1 + 1 is still 2.
Yeah, it definitely is, you know. Can you grab Isaiah 29:15, bro? Because one thing that the devil will do is do what he has to do to get done with whatever he needs to get accomplished. That's why it tells you in Job, when he's about to fill his belly, then the Lord is going to rain down destruction and wrath upon him, you know? Go ahead.
Isaiah 29:15, it says, woe unto them that seek deep to hide their own counsel, to hide their counsel from the Lord.
Yep, and that, because that's what it is, you know. Now, in the midst of that, can you get that precept you had at Thessalonians?
Okay. This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3. It says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as there fell upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape.
And that's what it is. They coming in the name of peace and safety. This is better for us. We're going to get this done. We're going to do, hey, look at this technology. You can be the phone. You can have internet in your head, or just, what if you, I remember, what if you had glasses you could put on and just surf the internet? All of these things sound convenient. They sound good. They sound promising. All right, especially with the world growing infatuated with technology. Because somebody can get the iPhone, the newest one this year, and they just gotta get the newest one next year. Mm-hmm. You know, how much more when they start bringing out this MARK and giving incentives to it, just like they did with the quote unquote solution to the C19er, man. All right, hey, come and get $100. Come and get a burger and fries. Come and get a bag of marijuana. They was doing everything, man.
Didn't they got the student loan payoff thing and all that?
It's like so much, because the greatest trick the devil will ever pull is convincing the world that he didn't exist, you know. But go ahead and finish up to Isaiah.
Kind.
Read it again.
Isaiah 29:15. Woe to them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord Yahweh.
Yeah, because they don't think that the Lord sees them. All right, go ahead.
And their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us? and who knoweth us.
Exactly. So their whole thing is, we have this plan, we have this enterprise. It speaks about in Job, and we have to do what we have to do to fulfill it. We got to get this done. And they don't think that the Lord sees them, as it tells you in Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter, that they're blinded by their wickedness. The fact that they have us on the bottom and they're in their rulership in this society, in this society, well, it was promised to them. You go to Genesis 25 and it'll tell you that. All right. But they still didn't get the better blessing. All right. Rulership over everything. So if we not ruling over everything now, that just means it still has to happen. You have your rulership right now. All right. So you thinking that you got to where you was at on your own power is just going to be a slap in your face when the Lord takes the rug from under your feet, man. Okay, because you think you're hiding your counsel from the Lord, not knowing. Can we get that in Proverbs? You know, yep, time. Now I'm gonna try. Is it 29 and 1? That might be.
I don't know.
21 and 1.
Yep.
Ooh.
This is the book of Proverbs 21 verse 1. It says the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord Yahweh.
Yeah, the king's heart is in the hands of the Lord Yahweh, right? Which the heart is the mind. Okay, go ahead.
As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will.
Yeah, so he controls it at the end of the day. All right, just as even with the Chinese, and they had that whole plan, and whether Esau had something to do with it or not, or thought it was a good plan, he has a similar plan. And knowing Esau, he's pretty, I can do better. I'm him. I'm that dude. You know? Because at a point in time, just think about all the stuff. I forgot what brother had said that. But think about all the stuff that the Lord is exposing him of now. What about all the stuff that he did back then, before internet and before alternative media and all of that? You know? So the Lord's been looking this whole time. He's just building a rap sheet. So when he brings the judgment upon you, he's justified because he's a just power, man. All right. Did you?
Yes,
That's it to that. Okay. Can we get the points on the
Okay.
their whole little, yeah.
Yeah. So a few years ago, I believe. Let me see. It was 2016, I believe. Yeah, 2016. The World Economic Forum, they produced a little short video, which was like 8 predictions for the world in the year 2030. With the first one being, you'll own nothing and be happy.
Yep, you'll own nothing and be happy. And that's exactly what happened, because all of their private property within the Great Reset, the Great Leap Forward was taken away. Hey, we're all going to share this. We're all going to do this. But at the end of the day, they pretty much enslaved them, man. You know, they had separate cities where other people was living good, you know. But the people who had little, which they called them peasants in the article we was reading, they had little. They had them out to work, and then they had to really work to survive. All right, which I'm gonna try to remember to post the documentary as well within the description box.
All right, number 2 says the U.S. won't be the world's leading superpower. A handful of countries will dominate.
And this is from the World Economic Forum. You know, they're the ones that's coming up with this, man.
The same people who are propagating the Great Reset. Number 3, it says you won't die waiting for an organ donor. It said that they're going to be 3D printing organs.
Mm-hmm. Did we get the one about the drones?
Oh, that's part of number 1. I can go back and we can talk about it. It says, going back to you'll own nothing to be happy, it says whatever you want, you'll rent it and it'll be delivered by drone.
Yeah, and now what? Because I be thinking about, you know, how you used to go into Blockbuster and you had to go through all of the movies, and you got, you know, you rent it, but you're going there. Now they like a drone gonna bring it to you. You know, people no longer really have DVDs nowadays. Everything is streamed. I remember even I believe it was the brother that brought it out. They're talking about boxing matches, watching boxing matches virtually.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so they're trying to bring everything to you and you to everything without you really having to leave anywhere, possibly from your 15-minute city.
Well, hey, so let's go back to the Great Leap Forward, because one of their issues was they overproduced grain, but it spoiled before they were able to allocate it and distribute it to the people that needed it. It's a famine. It's the greatest famine of all time, and they had more food than they needed or they could use, and it spoiled. If they're delivering it by drone to your house, then that takes that out of the equation.
Yep, that's a solution to that problem.
Exactly. Let's check that off the box. You know, we fixed that problem.
Mm-hmm.
So when they go to rebirth this this great plan, you know, they're doing checks and balances.
John, yeah, that's one of them, huh?
We get
Well, you said it, bro.
But number 4 is eat less meat.
Oh yeah, definitely eat less meat. You know, and that's why all of a sudden, you know, food production, plants was caught on fire. Cows, hundreds of cows, just turning up dead,
Turning up missing.
turning up dead. Chickens, you got all this bird flu, that. You know, what else you got?
You got 3D printed meat. You got freaking GMOs, and they telling you they seeds, not the actual seeds.
And it reminds you of what was that TV series? It wasn't called Utopia, was it?
There was one called Utopia. It was two of them. It was a British one. It was an American one.
Okay, yeah, and that's exactly what was going on in there. They was printing meat. They had fake meat, man. You know, and they got it now. They got the impossible meat.
Yeah.
You know, you go to Qdoba right now and get you a rice bowl with impossible meat.
Yeah.
You know. 1 second. You said what up? Yeah, and like the brother, they actually are printing meat, man. You know? So they don't mean just the sense of eating less meat, but eating less of natural meat. You can eat, they want you to eat their meat because their meat is not real. And it probably ain't no telling what it'll do to you, man. All right? You got to remember who you're dealing with, okay? He is not here for your help. What does it say in when you got, and I believe it's that same chapter, Sirach 12, never trust thine enemy, for as iron rusted, so does his wickedness. But it says he come crouching, you know. He'll come all peaceable and loving. And soon as he get a chance to bite you, he'll bite you, man. Just as a serpent would, you know. We're going to keep going, but if you can find it, go ahead and bring it out. Go ahead, brother.
Number 5, it says, billions of people will be displaced by climate change, and we'd have to adjust to the number of refugees around the world.
Yeah, and that's what you have a lot of. You got certain places getting hit with storms, snowstorms that don't get hit with snowstorms. Because years back, what was a big thing that was found out, that they have technology to control the weather. All right, so who's to say what's quote unquote Mother Nature or not? Which it ain't no Mother Nature. It's the Heavenly Father's doing of the weather. All right, and the Lord so cold, He'll give them the knowledge to create such technology to think that it's actually them doing it. All right, but nonetheless, they're telling you to prepare for these things, and that's one of the huge things: climate control. All right. The world is too populated, climate control, CO2 emissions. Go ahead.
Yeah, because if I can bring up one more point, they were saying by the year 2023, it wasn't supposed to be no snow on top of mountains in the United States. They said that, you know, a few years back, you know, going into they climate control. This climate control is so real, but, you know.
It's just a reason, an excuse, and a fear tactic.
Yeah.
You know, all of this is just because, like I said, peace and safety. So they have to do what? They got to play with your safety, make you feel like you're not safe so they can bring you safety. Like you have a lot of things going on with banks now. Well, what do you think? People, I don't want my money taken. I don't want it. I don't want. Oh man, we got you. You can carry this wallet with you everywhere you go, and it's waterproof.
Yeah.
You know, because it'll be where at in your right hand or your forehead, man.
I got that Sirach if you still want that, brother.
Come on, go ahead.
This is Sirach chapter 12 and verse 10. It says, "Never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusteth, so is his
No,
wicked."
not that one. I quoted that. It should be later on in that chapter, though.
Yeah, it's going into it, going crouching.
Yeah, just go straight to the point.
Kind of okay. It's so like verse 11. It says, "Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed."
Take good heed, like watch him. You don't slack up on him.
Yeah.
You know, don't relax around him. Go ahead.
"And beware of him.
Mm-hmm.
And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away."
Exactly. You gotta understand who you're dealing with. You gotta know that the devil is the devil. All right. You just have to know that. But he done his job because pretty much the whole world is deceived. It's through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai that our eyes was opened up. You know, as well as others. You got other people out there who not in the truth, but the Lord put the spirit on them to bring out certain information for, you know, we can relay it to the prophecies, man. All right. So you gotta watch him. Like I said, he might humble himself. Okay, but all in all, he's looking to bite you, man, as a serpent. You know, serpents don't move fast, but when they strike, they strike. Go ahead, brother.
Number 6, polluters will have to pay to emit carbon dioxide,
Yep.
and fossil fuels will be a thing of the past.
There you go. All right. Like you quoted earlier, no more gas, no more.
Your gas, your propane, so that's cars, that's your gas stove.
And the big thing is electric cars now. That's a huge deal right now. You know? Everything. All these years, y'all been polluting the earth. Got all these factories and making all of these cars. And y'all didn't know then. Oh, all of a sudden, it's just bad for the environment. I'm so ready to help the environment.
Well, this point goes.
You said what? Make water? Con. Got you. Mm-hmm. Con. Hey. Okay, Con. Hey, like the brother, I got the brother on the phone right now. But he said, you know, one thing, they had a guy who made he was able to make a car that ran on water. That's something that they can't create, but they can regulate it. But you already know they not gonna it ain't here. You know what I'm saying? They not gonna let that get out because hey, if that get out, it'll be all bad for them and what they can give you in exchange for pretty much your servitude at the end of the day. Yep, you just go to your sink. Yep.
That's your water hose.
Yep, it's a good thing that you said they can regulate it because they, you know, bringing out all these certain, hey, y'all need to use less water, take less showers, don't water your driveway and all of these things, you know, don't wash your cars in the driveway, save all the water, you know, they can regulate it, but like you said, they can't create it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. God. Yeah, yeah, God. Yep, but they can, yep, they can control electric cars and all of the cars with the computers. God. And like the brother said, they pretty much choking out our ability of natural resources. Things that we can just go and get. They create. Oh my gosh, I'm thinking of this, man. Oh, I wish Salakia. Oh, it was a crazy video I ran across too, man. It was during like all of the Confederate wars and all of that. With them, man, the reason why you have the private property signs or something to that nature is because, man, I'm not gonna even get into it because I can't remember it all. But it's pretty much, the brother pretty much explained it the same way. Dang, man, that'd be lovely if I could remember that, But they pretty much created a way to have private property so people couldn't farm on that property. Therefore, it choked them out from making a living because they would use that land to farm and have a financial gain. So they pretty much bought that land and made it private property and pretty much said, you can't be on my land. Therefore, it choked them out. And like the brother was saying, that's all they're doing nowadays. That's why they, Bill Gates is buying up all of the farm. And the brother even mentioned earlier to us earlier today about the topsoil, because they want you to come to them. They want to regulate all of that. Just like as they did with the Great Leap Forward as well, man. You had to. It's supposed to be everybody, like they said, you'll own nothing and be happy. No, not at all. Especially coming from this type of world. But if they choke you out of everything, what you gonna do? Settle. You're gonna just settle. All right. Everybody, I ain't gonna get this and me and that and in my right hand. Well, if you ain't ate in 3 days, you might end up having to settle. And I'm not speaking to the brothers who are in the know. Of course, Lord willing, we able to have that spirit on us to deny that, man. But I'm talking about the world, the people that's brave for whatever reason nowadays. They just, oh man, F the government type people. Those people who just found out about the Illuminati and things of that nature, and they just going crazy conspiracy theory type, But once they choke you out of what your necessities is, you don't know where your mind to be at, man. Hey, people resorted to cannibalism in the scriptures because they didn't have no food. All right, so hey. Go ahead, brother.
Yes, I just wanted to bring out a point that it said that fossil fuels are going to be a thing of the past, and that links up with number 2, with the U.S. not being the world's leading superpower, because the U.S. Oil is sold in U.S. dollars, and that's what's holding this country up, is that barrel of oil being sold in dollars. So when that fossil fuel is null and void or is not needed, that's going to cause America to fall instantly. So it's just these points are supporting each other.
Yeah, because it's a great reset. They want this place to fall. Mm-hmm. They want the economy to go bad and go to crash. All right, because they already have the solution.
Why would you keep America on top at status quo if you're resetting?
Exactly.
Number 7, it says prepare to go to Mars. It says they'll keep you healthy in space, and the point is to find alien life.
Yeah, you still in that, brother, real quick?
And as the brother said, alien life is gonna find you. But they have all these movies and Elon Musk wants to go to the moon and go to Mars, and basically they're running the Earth into the ground. So they think that they're going to be able to transition to another world. Keep you healthy in space. We're going to grow our space foods, and we're going to 3D print organs and 3D print food to keep you nourished and this, that, and the third.
It's a more convenient, better, sustainable life, but it's not real and it's not natural. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have people who, donate organs or whatever, but you don't have to wait. We can just, and what movie did they just have that in? The Black Panther Wakanda, the second Black Panther, where you had in the first movie where Killmonger, he destroyed all of the herb that gave them that purple herb that gave him the power. All right, so he could be the last Black Panther. And what did she do? She 3D printed one and got the same exact power. So they putting it out there, and they we know they do that. They give you a little bit here and a little bit there. So because that's doing what? Conditioning your mind. They're not just going to come from the gold standard and giving you fiat notes to giving you the MARK. They're not going to do that. No. They're going to give you these little fiat notes, and then they're going to give you this debit card and this credit card. Then they're going to give you some predictive programming, man. Predictive programming. So it's not too strange to you to rebel offhand. You might want to rebel after you agreed, which makes it a revolt. But, what I'm saying? Hey, that predictive programming to condition you and cushion you real good, man. You got both of them?
You want the mic, right? I got the mic and the Proverbs.
You had another precept? Because I want to end it with those two.
Okay. So I got the Proverbs chapter.
Why you got something in Revelations?
Yeah, the 12 and 12.
Oh, no.
Okay. Yeah, I got the Proverbs in the mic here. So I got the
you still holding the Revelations?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, kind of. Okay. Go ahead and bring these two out, then the Revelations, then we'll end it.
Okay. Want to get this last one?
Okay. Breaking point. Yeah. Get this last one. Bring those 3 precepts out, and then we'll end it.
So the last and final point was Western values have been tested to a breaking point, and checks and balances in our system must not be forgotten.
Mm-hmm. You can go ahead.
Yeah. So
I know you mentioned earlier.
The Western society is basically going to hell in a handbasket, and there must be checks and balances, as the system was brought up with. The president can't overrule the Senate can't overrule the legislature, so on and so forth. And basically, they need to wash away this system and bring in a new system, mm-hmm. which it really represents that whole checks and balance.
Yeah, and as they say, problem, reaction, solution.
So this is the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 1. It says, "Woe unto them, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand."
Yeah, and at that point in time, that's what Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So these plans and plots and ideas that they have, they think about in their little think tanks, and they have the power to bring them about. And the Lord said, "What unto them? Woe unto them." All right. So they have the plan and the power to confine you into a small part of a city where, like they said, the 15-minute cities where everything you need is just 15-minute walk or bike ride away. You want to go to the movies? 15 minutes away. You know what I'm saying? You need to go to the hospital? 15 minutes away. Oh, I ain't got a car, I ain't got money for Uber. No, you don't need no car, sir. That destroys the environment. CO2 emissions, So all of this, they're planning and plotting it, man. Okay? and it's right up under the nose of everyone. But hey, like I said earlier, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. Right? On top of that, with white supremacy is no, there's no bad white people. You know, why would white people want to do this and do that? You know, that's to the simple mind, to the sheeple. All right.
If I could bring out one point, just because you mentioned that CO2 emission, just as when Mao cut out the sparrows and it caused the locusts to eat all the crops, if they cut out all the CO2 emissions, that could cause the trees to die, because we breathe out oxygen, we breathe in oxygen and breathe out CO2, and the trees breathe in the CO2 and push out oxygen. So it could cause the trees to die. Come on now. But that's when you try to play God, that's what happens.
Yeah, there's only one supreme. He's the most high for a reason. Like, he already thought of everything. He is everything. Fuck. Like,
He planned for the cows to fart.
You know, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, his omnipotence. You know, he doesn't make mistakes. They're trying to be perfect by making all of these mistakes, just as Mao did. You know, because it said it might have been beneficial at the end of all of that, because they became a more industrial economy opposed to an agricultural economy. But look at all the people that had to die in the process. There was millions of people that had to die during the Great Leap Forward, right? During their mistakes. The Most High don't do that, you know? So, like your brother said, Esau's plan as the Most High, but you would never equal up to that power, man.
This is going into the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, and verse 16. It says, "For they sleep not except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall."
That's what gives them a good night's rest. Is to making somebody fall, to deceiving somebody, being mischievous towards somebody, shorthanding somebody, cheating somebody, overcoming somebody, stepping on the little guy. You know, that's what makes them feel good. You know what I'm saying? You know how you drink your Merlot, you know what I'm saying, on ice or not, you know, and it relaxes you, or you might even drink your sleepy time tea, and that gives you a good night's sleep. Well, with them, it's different. They want to see somebody fall. You know, they want to overcome somebody, man. All right? And it deals with what? The precept the brother brought out before, with them having them plans upon their beds, and then they practice it when they awake because it's in their power to do so. Right? You go ahead and get the Revelation and we close it out with that.
Okay, this is Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. It says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time."
Yeah, and through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, that's why things are speeding up the way that they're speeding up. You know, even with him making his moves, all right, just out of nowhere, you know, the C-19 hit and it changed the world. You know, the past 3 years was completely different compared to the 3 years before that, the 5 years before that, the 10 years before that, man. Okay? So all of this is speeding up because, like the brother said, they want to implement these 8 things by 2030, pretty much. All right? What you had? You had the 5G going and the jump shot going. All right? Now they're getting more comfortable talking about 3D printed things, you know, like the brother mentioned earlier with meats, okay? And then one thing they're getting a lot more comfortable, well, to a couple things actually, is the UFOs or the UAPs, which they build, they keep coming out with new task force towards, like, just come out with one super force that is gonna lose real quick, you know? But they're getting more, but they're, predictive programming as well, you know, because, the Chinese balloon and these 3 UFOs are shot down and da-da-da. Yeah, they're giving you hope because the Lord sooner or later is going to start revealing them chariots, man. And there, Esau is just a solution to it, you know? Even though when you actually go into his research and read it, he's explaining like they don't know what they're gonna do with the chariots, man. All right, but they'll give you hope. You know, they'll give you hope. They gotta give they military hope, the hope that they'll win. You know, because if you go to talking about, yeah, they be doing this, they disappearing, they there 1 minute and they gone, and I ain't trying to fight that, man. But they feed them that hope, man. All right. And then the second thing, you know, is the MARK. They're getting a lot more comfortable speaking on that, man. All right, and its abilities. Okay. Oh, with this we can connect it to your nerves, and you can walk, and you can do this and do that, which you could never do. Well, who else allowed people to walk that was lame? The Lord did, through the Heavenly Father. He did miracles, man. All right, by the power that the Lord gave him. So them playing God once again with their technology, all right, they're playing as the Most High, man. It's just like Moses and the what was they called, the magistrates, the ones in Egypt, you know, Janus and Jambres.
Yeah. The magicians.
You know, he brought out his power through the Heavenly Father, and then they brought out their power on the left hand. And guess whose power won? The Heavenly Father's power won. So no matter what Esau can do, all right, we still ought to trust in Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. They can fulfill their 15-minute cities. They can fulfill whatever, man. Whatever they want, all right? But at the end of the day, we are to trust in Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. All right? Anybody have any more points?
Nah.
Hey, so with that, you know, Lord willing, you was edified, and Lord willing, we allowed to endure to the end. Ra'ad, did you have any more points, brother? Okay, Khan. Hey, and with that, we want to give all praises unto Yahweh,
Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakar Kodash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone once again. Blessing and salutation unto the elect, and blessing and salutation unto you Akim out there doing this truth, as well as you men, women, and children that follow. Shalom.